guys, in this video I will be discussing the IMC paper 2016 grade 3. Moving on to number 1. So we see that there's a bunny plus 5 and 2 plus 5. So you can just take out 5, the plus 5, and then we see that bunny is equal to 2. So the answer would be 2. Really easy. Okay, moving on to number 2. What is the greatest possible 3-digit number with all 5 digits? So, with all different digits. 3-digit number with all different digits. So that would be 987 because, I'm going to draw a little diagram. There's H, T, and O. So, these dots represent how big the number is. So this hundreds is the biggest, this tens is pretty big, and then the ones is the least. So that means that the hundreds should be the biggest number in order to make the number super big. So the biggest 1-digit number is 9. So the hundreds would be 9. And the tens could be 9, right? Well, no, it can't, because it said all different digits. And so we need something like less than 9, but it's still the biggest number possible. So that's 8. And then ones should be smaller than tens and hundreds, but it should still be as big as possible. So that would be 7. So the answer for number 2 is 987.
So moving on to question number 3. Anna had 10 dolls. She gave Lisa more than 5, but not all of her dolls. What is the largest possible number of dolls Anna can have now? So we know that A for Anna has 10 dolls. And then minus, okay, no, what controls Z? I'm not going to do that right now. So we have also Lisa, which has greater than 5. But not all. Greater than 5. But less than 10. So, yeah. We know that's greater than 5 and less than 10. So, if we want the largest number of dolls that Anna can have, we need the least number of dolls that Lisa can have. And since we need something greater than 5, but less than 10, the smallest number that's greater than 5 is 6. So 6 would not be our answer. Our answer would be 10 minus 6. Because 6 is how many Lisa got. But we need to figure out how many are left. So 10 minus 6 equals 4. So 4 would be our answer. Moving on to question number 4. Faye spilled juice on her math homework. A number in one of the math problems is covered by the juice. What is that number? So we'll just do x plus, this needs to be thicker, x plus x, so x minus 40 minus 2 equals 200. And so we can simplify this into x minus 42 equals 200. And since this 42 is negative, when we send it to this side, it's going to become positive. So that's basically x equals 200 plus 42. So that's 242. So the answer for number 4 is 242. Oh, 242, not 3. 242. Moving on to question number 5. Sarah has so many fish in her aquarium. There are 15 catfish, which is only 1/4 of Sarah's fish. How many fish are in Sarah's aquarium? So we know that 15 equals 1/4. So if you want to figure out everything, we would just do 15 times 4. And what would we get? We would get, so 60 would be our answer. Moving on to question number 6. A lazy snake is 18 feet long. She decided to take a nap wrapped around a rectangular box like this. The length of the box is 5 feet. What is the width of the box? So I'm going to draw a similar box right here. Okay, so this is actually really thick, but don't worry. So the length is 5, and since this is a rectangle, this side should be 5 too. And so 5 plus 5 equals 10. But 10 is not our answer. See, it says a lazy snake is 18 feet long. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 18 feet. So we would do 18 minus 5 plus 5, which is 10. And then we have 8. But 8 is not our answer. You know why? Well, I think you do. Because that means that this side plus this side equals 8. And so what we can do to figure out each side is 8 divided by 2. And we would get 4. So 4 would be our answer. Because 4 is right here and 4 is right here. And he's asking for 1. Because he's asking for the length. And so that means top to bottom. And that is 4. So the answer for number 6 is 4. Moving on to question number 5. I mean not 5. Question number 7. How many square tiles with a side whose length is 1 foot are needed to cover a room, the floor of a room that is 20 feet wide and 10 feet long? So I'm going to draw these. So this would be the square. So we know that the length of this side of the square is 1. And since this is a square, that means that all sides are 1. And the total perimeter of the square is 1 squared, which is 1. So yeah, the area of this is 1. And then we also know that the length of this side is 10, and then this side is 20. And so we would do 10 times 20 to find the area. Why? Because the length, how we find the area of a rectangle is L times W, which is basically length times W, times width. And so that would be 10 times 20, which is 200. And so yeah, 200 would not be our answer. Well, it is our answer, but we didn't completely solve the problem. What we have to do now is we have to do 200 divided by 1, which is 200. Moving on to number 8. Mrs. Purr has 30 cats. She went to the store and bought toys for 1/3 of them. The rest of the cats are now very upset. How many more toys does she need to buy to make all the cats happy? So, okay, Miss Purr has 30 cats. I can write that down. And then she bought toys for 1/3 of them. So so right now we're gonna find out how many toys she bought for. So that's 30 divided by 3, and then 30 goes out with 3 with the 10. So 10 would not be our answer. 10 is just how many toys she bought for how many 10 is how many toys a cat got. So 10 cats got 1 toy. So yeah. Now to figure out how many more are left, what we would do is we would do 30 minus 10. And we would get 20. So 20 would be our answer for number 8. Moving on to number 9. Mr. Super Spy thought of a secret number. When he subtracted his number from 547, the result was 172. So we can just write this problem. So that's 547 minus x. So we can rewrite this problem as 547 minus 152. And we would get x. So 7 minus 2 is 5. And then, 5 minus 4 equals 1. But then 1 plus 9 equals 10. So 9 right here. And then we borrowed. So I'm going to put a dot right there. And then 5 minus 1 is 4. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. So 395. Moving on to question number 10. Okay. A number monster likes to eat whole numbers. Today he was hungry and ate the numbers 3, 4, 5, and so on. He finished with the number 100, which he thought was the youngest. How many numbers did the number monster eat today? Basically, we would do 100 minus 3, and we would get 97. And then we do plus 1, and we get 98. And if you're wondering why we did plus 1, that was because when we count numbers on a number line, we do not include the first one. And so, when we count it like that, we would get our number, right? We would get our answer. Yeah, that's right. But where we're starting is we are starting, since we subtracted from that, like that, we started. So pretend this one is 3. This would actually be 2 right here. And then this would be 3, and then this would be 4. So we are starting from this 4 right here. We didn't include 3. So we need to include 3. So we would do plus 1. And then we would get the right answer. And so when we do 97 plus 1, we would get 98. So the answer for number 10 is 98. So find the area of the park. So yeah, and then this side would be 14, this side would be 13, and then this side would be 7, and this side would be 8. So first what I would do is I would pretend this would be one whole square. If this were to be one whole rectangle that didn't have any face, that's how I would think of it. So to find the area of it, I would do 14 times 3, times 13. And then that's 4 times 3, which is 12, so 2 right here. And then 1 times 3 plus 1 times 4, which is 7. But then, since we added 12 from last time, we have to do 7 plus 1, which is 8. And then 1 times 1, which is 1. So the whole area is 182. And so what I would do now is I would just keep 182 and find the area of this took out part, which would be 8 times 7. And 8 times 7 is 56. So now I'd subtract these to find the area of the park, which you can also think of as the shaded area on this. So 6 minus 2 is 4, and then 4 plus 6 equals 10. So 6 right here. And then we borrowed right here, so I'm just going to put a dot. And then, don't put this dot in the middle of each number. Just put it on the top. It'll really help. And I don't have any space on the top, so that's why I'm not doing that. I'm just putting it where I can in this line. But yeah. So, 8 minus 5 is 3, but since we borrowed, that's a 2. And then, 1, because we didn't borrow from. So the answer is 126. So moving on to question number 12. The sum of two numbers is 40. So that's basically x plus y equals 40. And then we also have the difference between them is 4. So that's x minus y 4. So now that we have it like this, we can just put a line right here and then solve this. So we have positive y and negative y. And since they have different signs, we just cancel them out. And that means that 2x equals 40 plus 4, which is 44. But this is 2x. So we have to do 44 divided by 2 in order to find what x is. So that's 22. So x equals 22. So now we can solve this. So it says, what is the larger number? So the larger number is the first number, because when we subtract. So, actually no, it's not like that. Yeah, so we're going to solve this basically. So that's 22 plus y equals 40. And so, since this 22 is positive, so when we send it to this side, it would be negative. And then we know that y equals, it's y, equals 40 minus 22, which is 18. So 18 is smaller than 22. So 22 is greater than 18. And so 22 is the largest number, and 18 is the smallest. And it's asking for what is this larger number. So that would be 22. So the answer for number 12 is 22. So in the school, all 200 fourth graders play a musical instrument. Some students play the piano, some play the flute, and some play both. If 80 students play the piano and 150 students play the flute, how many students play both piano and the flute? So we know that there are 200 students. Okay, and then we have 150 plus 80. Control Z. And then 80. And then when we add these, we get 230. And then in order to figure out the whole problem, we would do 230 minus 200. And the answer is 30. And if you don't understand when we add these and if you don't understand why we're getting a bigger number than the total when we add 150 and 80, well, that is because in the piano there is a both number, B, and there's an only number. And on the, flute, there is a both, and there is an only. So you see here that both is repeating 2 times. And yeah, only is repeating 2 times, but it's not repeating 2 times, because these are the only of each thing. So this is the only of piano, and this is the only of flute. So there's nothing wrong with the onlys. It's just the both is doubling. And both is not just for the things. It's for it's in the problem. It's not just for the things. And it's doubling. So that means that when we add them up together, the both is doubling. So that means there's being one extra both. So that both is adding up to the total number of people. So when we have that both and you subtract it from the total number of people, like in this problem, 230 minus 200, you would get our answer, 330. And whenever you use this, make sure that the question is, how many students play both the piano and the flute? If it's like, how many people play the piano, then you cannot use this trick. It's only for both. Okay, moving on to question number 14, the last. Pirate Pete wants to give each of his pirate friends an equal number of gold coins, but he can't remember if 3, 4, 5, or 6 of his pirate friends are coming to his party. What is the fewest number of gold coins that Pirate Pete must have so that each pirate friend who comes to his party gets the same number of gold coins? Okay, so here I would use LCM. And if you don't know what LCM is, please watch a different YouTube video and then come back to this one or ask your mom and dad. Okay, are you ready? Cool. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 2 right here to get out 4 and 6. So that's 3, because 3 can't go with 2, so we just drop it down. And then we have 4, which can go with 2, and then we divide, so it's 2. And then we have 5, which cannot go with 2, so we just drop that down. And then 6 can go with 2, with a 3. So now here we have a 3. So that's 1, 2, 5, and 1. And now we can just multiply all of these. So that's 2, 3, 1, 2, and 5, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 1. Right. So that's 2 times 3. So these are the numbers, I know. Huge. And then we can just cancel out these times 1 because they don't do anything. Make us more confused. So it's 2 times 2, which is 4. And 4 times 5. So that's 4 times 5 times 3, which is 15. So that's 4 times 15, which equals 60. So 60 would be our answer. So yeah guys, that was the end of the video. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Bye.